Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream. As per request yesterday, um, hey, thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. Yeah, as per request yesterday, I adjusted my microphone. You know how we took a bit of a break from streaming, so I had to uh adjust a bunch of my stuff. So if anything sounds weird to you guys, like technical wise, audio wise, or things get blurry or whatever, please let me know because now is the time for me to go back and adjust everything as we get back into streaming, you know? So Happy New Year. What's going on? Thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me move some windows over. Anyway. You guys caught me oh, I forgot to put my books away. I was just reading a little bit this morning. One of my favorite books that I picked up last year was a well, it's not really it's not an instructional book. It's the Utopia Archive from Virtual Self. I've been wanting this book for a minute, but the kind of expensive. It was like $60. If I remember right, it was like 50 or $60, but like that price tag for something that's not really instructional and it's more of just like an art book. I don't know. It's hard for me to, I don't often buy books that aren't instructional, so anyway. Anyway, that's how I spent my morning, so my bad. Let me put this away. Malcolm, what's going on? Good morning. I guess it's afternoon for you, right? I had to skip the gym today because I'm like trashed. Like I woke up and like I'm not sore, but you know how like when you work out a certain amount and then you just know that your body needs a break. You're just like, oh, I got nothing in the fuel tank. Yeah. So I took the day off from the gym. So this morning I've just been doing some commission work, not finishing like 3 different commissions instead of finishing one. And then spent the morning reading. All right, so what we're working on today. Oh yeah, by the way, last night, sorry if you got any notifications of me going live. I was testing some streaming mobile streaming equipment, and I had to like stream like 5 times last night. Anyway, so yesterday or the past 2 days we've been doing a refresher course on like drawing people. That was fun. It's a little boring, so instead today we're going to be working on like scenes. Yesterday we started drawing a guy who was driving a car. Yeah, right there. Wait, changed my reward program. What did I do? Did it update? Oh, you're talking about the Shinji tiers, like the channel points stuff? I dropped the price of highlighting messages, but yeah, I haven't found anything to do with the channel points yet. I'll figure out something. So today, rather than focusing on like drawing people as part of our refresher course, I think drawing a scene will be a good practice. Actually, in the Discord, which you can see there, Exo, one of the regulars here, and one of my art buddies, he's starting to learn how to draw backgrounds, which is really cool. I know a lot of people kind of avoid drawing backgrounds because they're a lot of work, and they're not that hard or they don't have to be hard, but no matter what, they're a lot of work. But I haven't really been doing a lot of background work, so that's what we're gonna be doing, trying to set a full scene. So we'll do something simple first with figures, and then we'll like draw people. Okay. So we'll start this warm up with like shapes, and then we'll worry about like drawing people. Cool. Oh, I have to. Your figures have been rough, having trouble doing what I'm seeing and more what you think you're seeing. Oh yeah, that's rough, especially when it comes to coloring. Like I don't know how much time you've spent studying colors, but getting past the like painting what you like the colors that you see versus the colors that you think. Because like pretty much everything in real life, everything that's shaded is like some kind of blue, right? It's like some kind of cool color for the most part. Or it's like a purple, right? Like on human skin in their shadows. But like when you color it, you're just like, well, if my skin is brown, it's going to be dark brown, right? So yeah, in regards to, and again, I don't know if you're talking about colors or figures. Oh, you're talking about figures. Well, anyway, if you're talking about colors, reverse engineering it, like getting pre-made color palettes and then trying to paint using only those colors that they gave you is a good way to practice that. With figures, are you doing like, what's giving you trouble? Is it like the gesture of it all? Or is it, I just installed new fitted seat covers onto my wife's car. They were a pain in the ass, but they look so good. Y'all know that I have a 2007 Honda Civic. I love that. That's like my baby. I got that thing so I could start traveling to conventions and save money on gas, because before that I had a Tundra that I was using, a Toyota Tundra. And I'm just at a point where I don't use the Civic, so I have to clean it up and fix it up, and I gotta sell it. Sucks, man. Sucks. I love that car. I just don't have time for it. Like I don't have time to. One, I don't use it, so it's like I'm just throwing money away every month to, pay for everything on it, and I'm just like. Anyway, I don't know if we have any car people here, but you know what it's like to have to sell a car that you really like. I used to have a 240Z. I had a 1970. Shit, what year was it? I guess I don't love it that much if I can't remember. I think it was 77. Hold on. It was one of the only years that came with an automatic transmission. Now, normally I'm a manual transmission kind of guy, but when the older cars, they're more rare with automatic transmissions. And I had one of those and it was fucking sick. I find a picture of it. What was it? It was a 72 240Z. I'm gonna put up a picture of it on the Discord. So I'm gonna put up a picture of my 240Z. Anyway, this is irrelevant to art, I guess, but I just want to show it off. So I'm gonna put up a picture in the Discord and under the collectibles of my 240Z that I had to sell. Really sad. I'm gonna show you a picture of what the interior looked like when I got it. And then I'm gonna put up a picture of the interior after I got done with it. All right, so anyway, that's my car spiel. I'm going through that again where I gotta sell a car that I actually like. Observations. Do you know it, the thing that helped me the most, which you know, I don't think I realized until after the fact, was I was traveling to a lot of conventions during my early artist years, and that means that I was always at airports and just kind of hanging out around people outdoors, and I would always have my sketchbook with me. And I think that like, not think, I'm pretty sure that just all that time of like people watching helped a lot. Um, so I don't know how much time you have to like go outside and like look at people. You could even just, I know outside sucks, right? Outside sucks. If you have the time or the ability to go somewhere safe, always put your safety first, because you never know. This world's crazy out there. Go somewhere like a Walmart or something where there's a lot of people, and then just like watch people and draw them. Just bring your sketchbook, yeah. You know, I know that like when I first started trying to draw people out in public, it was really awkward. And I would get people would give me like looks. Like I'm not even taking pictures. Like there's like you're not even taking pictures of people. You're sitting there just drawing. And it was really awkward at first for me. And people give you weird looks, but I think they're more interested in what you're doing. You know, like if you're shooting a vlog or a TikTok or something and you're just like dancing in the middle of the street, holding up traffic and shit, like that's different, right? But as time went on, I drawing out in public, I realized people are just more fascinated by what you're drawing. They'll act like I've had instances where people will come up and just take a look. Like it was not this November, this past November 2022. I was in New York for a convention and I was just chilling on the street and I was just like drawing people that passed by, or people who were, you know, I was studying outfits, clothing. There's a lot of good architecture there. There's so much scaffolding there. And, you know, New Yorkers, they don't give a fuck about anything, right? Like a car, like legit, a car could explode down the street and they would just walk the other way and be like, God damn it. It's going, you know, like, and but people were fascinated by what I was drawing. So I bring that up because I know that when I started drawing out in public, I felt awkward. Like I felt like I was intruding in people's shit, and I thought, you know what I mean? Like I cared too much. But the reality is nobody cares, or they're fascinated by what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah, Steamboat is public domain now. Seen 2 horror movies and a video game, Batman and Superman. Yeah, and then about what do we got, like 13 years before Wonder Woman is public domain. Yeah, like they'll come up and ask how long you've been drawing, or they'll say they usually have some kind of story, right? Where they're like, well, I have a relative who's drawing, or oh, I used to draw, or you know. Yeah. So if anybody here like drawing people, like real people, is so much more effective than just finding images online. And I find people are pretty polite about it. So it's nothing to be, as long as you're in a safe place. I always gotta say that because like going outside, man, you can't get caught. You gotta be ready all the time. Anything. When I go to conventions, do you know what I'm mainly concerned about? Like what I keep my guard up for most? It's not people with like a gun or something. Like you're always cautious about that, right? But that's not where my main like focus is. My main focus is somebody who's trying to run a prank. Like like someone with a gun, they're there to do business, right? But hold on. Forget what I said that. No, I'm more concerned about like somebody's gonna come up to the booth, run some prank or something, and like knock something over and run away. You know what I mean? Like Yeah, you know, and you can, and it's not just what you draw there. You bring your cell phone with you. You could take a lot of good reference pictures for later. Like, and you go to the park, you can take like 100 reference pictures and like of a tree or a jungle gym at like different angles. Make sure there's no kids on those jungle gyms because you can't take pictures of that shit. So you want to, you can get different angles, and then you could, after you're done at the park, you can get a lot of value out of just one trip, like to Walmart or to the park or whatever. You just take a lot of pictures with your cell phone, try to get weird angles, and then you could do your live drawing there, and then when you bring that stuff back home, now you have reference pictures for a lot of different stuff. Was that based on experience? Not my experience. Common sense experience. I've had my fair share of like run-ins with people traveling for conventions. I told this story before, but I know Malcolm remembers this story. I went to a library one time. I was in Indianapolis. I went to a library, public library, to do some work while I waited for my flight, which was in a few hours. And must have been in the wrong area because some lady came and just sat right in front of me. Like my table, I was doing my work on my computer, right in front of me. Just stared at me. And I was like, "Can I help you?" And she was like, "Nope." And I was like, "All right, I forgot. I'm out." I just packed up my shit and left. You know, I'm so tired from the con. I just want to get some work done, you know. The people in Indy and in the city and at the con, they were nice. So part of me was just like, this is okay. I could go to this library here. You drew a great. Wait. You're saying you drew your aunt and she was wondering why? Or you drew a grate from the ground, like, you know, a grate, and your aunt was wondering why? So back to my car, my Civic that I have to sell because it's irresponsible for me to keep it. Is all I'm saying. It's like it's a waste of money and it's a waste of space for me to keep it. Anyway, so I don't know if anyone knows anything about 8th generation Civics. I'm a car nerd. I won't keep. It's just like boxing. I'll talk about a little bit and then I'll stop so I don't bother anyone. The stereo is not like a normal, like, just pop it out stereo, right? It's like the whole fucking dash unit. So I gotta change the whole thing. I'll probably do that this weekend. I'll put pictures on the Discord while I do it. Oh, your great aunt didn't understand why you drew. Okay. I was just like, it's like, wait, drawing a grate? Okay. I have recently added Picarto to our multi-stream setup. Does anyone remember Picarto? Is anyone on Picarto? Because if you have an account with him, give me a follow there. I swear to God, I'm just trying to look. I pay like $150 a year for this Streamlabs Premium, which allows you to multi-stream to like anywhere. And God damn it, I'm gonna use it. I was trying to live stream to Kick, but like I was trying to add Kick to my live stream count, but it like it won't let me log in, and then it won't send me like my 2-factor notification. Like that thing is fucked. So I have to like I probably have to make like a new. The problem is like if I make a new Kick account, then it's gonna have a different like name than what I have, and it's just fucking annoying. Oh, you remember how I was trying to get to 10K on TikTok so I can unlock their streaming whatever? I found a workaround. I'm going to do a setup here where I'm going to just stream on my extra like my old phone, so you guys will be able to watch it on TikTok as well. So I wait for nobody. You'll be my if you do that, you'll be my first follower on Picarto before we blow up there. So I'm not actually very involved in like a lot of art websites. Does Pixiv have like a streaming service there? Like, do they have the ability to stream there? I have to figure out Reddit, adding Reddit to the multi-stream. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think Pixiv had one, but y'all know more than I do, so that's why I always ask. From the last time we spoke about it, AI has really jumped bounds. Our community and group of people getting the fights over claiming who created their. Just my prompt, son. Don't take my prompt. What was the very first thing that I said once the AI stuff started getting really like mainstream, really popular? I said all it's gonna do is raise my stock as a traditional artist. Like, I'm not saying that the AI stuff doesn't matter. I'm not saying I won't be affected by it. I was affected by it. I lost my gig with DeviantArt because of it. It's been long enough. I talk about it. I give a fuck. But yeah, have you seen them fighting over have you seen those people? Those people? Have you seen them fighting over like they're using each other's prompts? Like you can't like I guess there's some program out there that could reverse engineer the prompts that were used to create certain images, right? So anyway, so I guess somebody had started just finding the prompts to these images and putting them online. Just here you go. Give you all the tea. There's not that much tea, but all I have to say is like, in short, you guys know we used to do stuff with DeviantArt on here, which again I still appreciate the opportunity they gave me. The decisions that they made regarding AI had nothing to do with the people I was involved with. Actually, a lot of people I was involved with left because of it, you know, or they were laid off and I didn't know it. Regardless, they I think it's called Dream Up. DeviantArt have their own like AI generator, so they really started focusing on that, and it's not a coincidence that once they really started pushing that, they basically got rid of us. So and that sucked because real talk, that monthly DeviantArt paycheck was enough to pay like my bills. So I was like, ah, fuck, I gotta go do other stuff. Now I gotta work for a living. Anyway. So my point, what I was talking about before was the first thing that I said was all it's gonna do moving forward for me is up my value as a traditional artist. It's gonna up my stock as a traditional artist. Even at conventions, the normal person, the layman, last year I found it a lot. They were asking, "Is this AI generated or did you draw it?" And I always say, "I drew it." And I always tell them, I live stream all of it. You can watch it online. So retroactively, us streaming all of our artwork, streaming all of our studies, recording all of it and putting it online as documentation is gonna pay off big time. It's already kind of paid off, and I feel like as time goes on, I think we'll be able to use it for something later. So, my bad, Pico. I didn't see you there. Pico says my Pocket Sketchbook has a lot of pages of just boxes and basic shapes I sketch. When people ask to see it, I always say, "Why do I draw random boxes?" If they have to ask, they don't need to know. You don't have to explain what's understood. Yeah, I was tempted to draw just a bunch of well, this is just a bunch of boxes and shapes here. Can definitely see how it can help get creative juices flowing. I think it's more about I think it's more like on industry level, where it's like, why are you gonna find an illustrator? Because let's talk about it from like the people hiring artists. Talk about it from their standpoint. You're gonna take the time to find an artist. You're gonna try to vet them. You gotta look through all their shit, and then you have to hope that they're not gonna take forever to get the job done, right? So they're always gambling when they hire an artist. Versus if they have somebody who can do prompts, it's just so much more efficient on the business end to just do that. And then you can find an artist to touch it up, pay them way less, and that's less work on them, so it's less risk. So I get it. It's this. Have you seen that? To me, that's what this is, because all AI, it doesn't create anything original. It's like photo bashing a trillion different things. That's all it is, right? So this is what it is. Have you ever seen those Pokemon Fusion websites where it's just like, I'm gonna put Poliwhirl and then put Jigglypuff, and we got Polypuff, right? That's the same thing as you saying, yeah, I created Polypuff. I did that. That's me. That's all me. Try to be a regular and post on the Discord and shit. I appreciate that. Yeah. I will also try to be a regular on my own Discord and post more. Yeah, but that example I just gave, how is that any different from generating something using these AI generators and then just claiming it as your own? It's the same thing. Now, if like if you say that and somebody finds that offensive, that's their problem. But my point is, I know, man. I know. Walk around and be like, Polypuff, what's up? There's probably a point to be made with how AI artists, AI creators get offended if you try to take tips from them. But traditional artists are like, oh yeah, check this out. Well, that's like with everything in the world, right? Like it. Man, why we listen to some crazy, sexy '90s music? What is this? Okay, change it up. Well, okay, this goes with everything in the world though. Like you you didn't earn the power. Like being able to draw, being able to paint well, or I'm just using those examples, but you could apply it to anything in life, any skill. If you didn't have to work for it, it's it's just it's different. Like you behave differently, you see it differently. Like people who get by in life just because they're like really good looking, and they're really hot, like their work ethic isn't the same. You know, it's not. People who are gifted things easy when they're young, like their work ethic is, you know, their appreciation for stuff is not the same. Like their behavior is not the same. So you get people who like, yeah, I just became an artist about five months ago. Watched like 3 YouTube videos. It was so hard to keep my attention and put my phone down. You know, like and with that, the layman, I say the layman, the non-artist, they recognize it. They're not dumb. Like they're like, oh, everyone's just gonna buy AI generated stuff. Like people aren't dumb, dude. Like they'll if they had if there was a picture with like 1,000 Dragon Ball characters on it and it was generated through AI versus hey, thanks for the follow versus I don't know, a drawing with over 1,000 drawing Dragon Ball characters that I don't know somebody drew by hand. You know which one they're gonna pick, right? But at the end of the day, it is theft. So I could see why there's like people fighting against it and lawsuits and all that. It is theft ultimately. So it's hard. You've been drawing since you were 12. Only really started to get your act together. Well, Coffin, I bring this point up a lot when I talk about myself, and I talk about myself a lot. No, I started drawing, you know, around 25. And it worked out probably for the best because when I was younger, I was a fucking dumbass, and I didn't have the work ethic or the focus to learn anything. Like I'll not be like, you know how I told you this morning, if you were here at the beginning of the stream, I told you this morning I was sitting here reading a fucking art book. I would not have done that if I was like 18. I'd have been like, fuck this book. It's like the internet made of trees, right? Like, so when you say you've only gotten your act together for like the past 2 or 3 years, that's because you're mature and you've prioritized it. And everyone matures at a different rate, so it's just like, I don't know. The point is you spent the last 2-3 years getting your shit together, and that's fine. That's good. Okay, this was gonna be a car, and I know that airplane seats do not have removable headrests, okay? But we're gonna turn this into an airplane instead of a car. Airplane seats are kind of more like. Or if you have an international flight, they have little TV screens on the back. Oh, speaking of international flights, in about 28 days, if I think I'm counting right, I'm going to London. My brother is competing. He's a professional powerlifter. Not just professional, he's actually a 2-time world champion in his weight class in powerlifting. So I'll be flying out to London and hanging out in Sheffield for a few days and then coming home. So that'll be fun. I'm going to be taking so many reference pictures while my ass is out there. We'll stream while we're out there, too. Now that I got all my new stream gear with me, my mobile stream gear. AI hurts artists, but it's up to clients, employers to choose real versus AI. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, when it comes to private clientele, there's always going to be a market for like things done by individuals. That's never going away. That shit's been around for like hundreds, thousands of years. Like that shit's been around forever. Like, you know, like, there's a caveman who had to kill like a goose to get its blood to draw stuff on the walls. He could probably still find work right now if he wanted to, you know, like. I believe I'm flying with Swiss Airlines. Let me tell you something about Swiss. They give you a whole bottle of alcohol. Like, they give you a whole bottle of wine. Hey! What's going on? Thanks for coming through. How have you been? What's going on? We're just gonna do some, my bad, I'll move a little bit faster, okay? I've been kind of goofing off, but, yeah, so today we're just gonna be practicing scenes, because this whole month is just gonna be me doing refresher courses for myself, because I'm super fucking rusty. Okay, chat, give me like, not like a detailed scene, give me a location. When we're done with this sketch on the next page, give me a location. First one to type something, I'll do that. Tavern, mountains. Okay, a tavern in the mountains will be on the next one. Bus stop. I have a really old painting called Bus Stop. I don't know who here is part of that first generation artwork of mine, but thanks for the follow. Okay, fuck this brush pen. You got trashed on American Airlines? Yo, you know, right after COVID, or like right when everything opened back up, they stopped selling alcohol on flights, at least here in the U.S., because Americans can't handle their, like, straight up, let's call it what it is. Most Americans can't handle their liquor, which is, anyway. I don't know if they started doing that again. Like, I don't know if you could buy alcohol again on airlines. Can you do that? They give. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you here, I'll pull up my bro's Instagram. I'll just drop it into the chat right now. He's basically what I would have been if I was, I don't know, if I stayed productive my whole life. If I stayed focused and productive during my 20s. Okay. I'm going to drop the link to his Instagram into the Twitch chat because it won't let me drop the name into the other chats that I have going on. The way it reminds me of Kim Jong-un. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he is one of my favorite artists of all time. When I went to one of his lectures in the very first time I went to one of his lectures was in 2017 in San Francisco. It just like changed how I viewed everything. Cause like I'd been watching his YouTube videos since like, I think the first one I caught was in 2014. And I was just like blown away. And I'm like, my brain was, I think I had issues because, you know, at the time I'd only been drawing for a little bit. So when I saw someone doing, you know, what he does, which it's commonplace now, but back then it wasn't, to see people draw, you know, that freestyle, whatever. And I had trouble like understanding all of that. And like I was like, how could thanks for the follow. How is somebody capable of doing this shit? But then as time went on, I put in more practice, and then I got to watch him draw live, and then I heard, well, the translator, but I heard him talking about like the different things that he thinks about while he's drawing. I was just like, nah, I could do this, you know. So it really changed. Being able to go to one of his lectures and see him draw live and like hear him or his translator talk really changed the way I approached my art. Yeah. So for that reason, he's one of my favorites, and yeah, took a lot of inspiration from him. This is regular, yeah, this is just regular, like, trash sketchbook paper. Yeah, this is the same, this is the 600-page sketchbook. It's the regular sketchbook that we've been working in for years. You know, I just have a bunch of this same sketchbook. Yeah, refreshing on perspective and scenes is much needed. So rusty. Well, to be fair, these sketchbooks are they're 300 pages. But they're back and front, so 600. Well, 602 if you do the covers, which we do, yeah. You know what? I buy them because they're good value for the money, and it's easy storage. I hate having a bunch of, like, I have a lot of small sketchbooks from when I first started. And they're like different brands, they're different sizes, some of them are spiral bound, and I fucking hate it. So I was just like, I could just buy like a bunch of these 600-page books, and I'm set for life. And they stack perfectly, like, yeah. Is it hard to talk and draw at the same time? It's not. It's definitely something you have to practice. It slows me down. Even to this day, it slows me down. Just because I'm like goofing off with you guys, right? But I've done a lot of in-person live drawings, and I don't say it's hard. It's something you gotta practice. It's just another skill. But I think it'll always slow you down, no matter who you are. You're gonna slow down. Yeah, there was a period of time where I was super obsessed with doing everything in 5-point perspective. I actually have a series, and I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen these. This is like old school shit, but like those who have been around for a long time. I had a series of original pieces that I made where I was just taking everyday scenarios, just boring everyday scenarios, like slice of life. But then I wanted to make slice of life more visually interesting. So one of the things I did to all of those pieces was I drew everything in a 5-point perspective, and I was like, instantly everything looks more interesting that way. Especially since, you know, it's not like when a photographer walks around with like a fisheye lens, they are technically limited to like gravity. You know, like unless you jump off a building and take the picture while you're falling, like there are certain shots you're not gonna be able to get. But as illustrators, we could set the camera anywhere we want, right? All right, what'd you say? A tavern? All right. So what's the setting of what's involved in a tavern? So we'll do a thumbnail here, and then I'll sketch it out. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We'll do inside, and then I'll make sure to incorporate a window so that you could see the mountains outside. Barrels for booze. So we need barrels. We need booze. Tables and chairs. People. Shady people. Shady. Alcohol. I got booze. I wrote booze right here. Okay. So in regards to setting up a scene, all right, we can do this, okay? So I guess this is technically the start of the stream, okay? Welcome to the stream. Today we're doing a refresher course and refreshing myself on setting up scenes. Exo, who was in the Discord, my buddy, he's learning how to draw backgrounds now, so kind of inspired by him, you know, taking the initiative to learn something new. But so this is how I like to set up scenes in my head, especially if like I'm getting paid for something. Especially if I'm getting, we've been off for an hour already. I ain't done shit. So anyway, so especially if I'm getting paid for a job. It's one thing if I'm doing it for myself or I'm sketching. If I'm getting paid for a job, you want to structure it out right. So okay, so you want to always thumbnail stone or lumber walls. Lumber walls, stone fireplace, stone pillars. Fireplace. Well, that'll be an easy source of light, right? So we'll do fireplace, yeah. Stone plus wood. Okay. So one of the things that you want to do when you set up a scene is figure out where you want to set your camera. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, again, it's not always just the technical things that you need to practice. There's some like, how would you say, your approach to things that you should think about as well. In the book How to Draw by Scott Robertson, one of my favorite books, I always recommend it. And if anyone wants to buy it, you just let me know. I'll shoot you an Amazon link, because if you're gonna buy it, I'd rather you do my link instead of just buy it on your own. Anyway, in it, he equates your eyes, your eye line, which is what dictates where your horizon line is, right? To like a camera. So it's just like, well, if you're gonna shoot an interesting scene, and I'm a movie nerd. I love movies. I love cinematography. So it's just like, where would you set up a camera to make a shot look most interesting? So if you want to do it a boring way, you would just like, and you're not taking into account certain things. So this is what the scene could look like if you're not taking into account things like camera placement and eye line. You're just like, well, here's a tavern, right? There's like some tables, I guess. And then here's the bar. Some people sitting at the bar. There's the bartender. Always cleaning that one cup. Bartender's always cleaning that one cup, you know? I don't know, maybe there's a window. 2 windows. Right, you're just going down this checklist. You know, but we can try and find a more interesting angle. So I think the thing that we want to think about is we want to show the bartender. I want to show the fireplace. Okay. So we could set the camera, move the camera about like, so then we can see the door, the entrance, right? So we can have people walking in and out to make it seem busier. The fireplace over here. And then we can still catch the bar over here, and then the bartender's mustache over here. And then from there we can put those a window like we had over here to show the mountains. So you can get kind of an idea. What is it? Like an establishing something to help you establish where the fuck you are. And for the mountains, it's going to be cold, so I guess we're going to give everyone heavy jackets, right? So this would be a 3-point, right? We're going to do 5-point though, because everything's more interesting in a fisheye perspective. We can even get to the point where we have the wall. We're catching the side of the wall over here. Are they round tables or are they like picnic tables? Or are they those long fucking Game of Thrones tables? A coat rack instead of giving them jackets? We could do that, but this place is supposed to be shady though. I ain't putting my jacket on a hook when I walk into the club. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the random spiral staircase that goes nowhere. Is that the one that you place it in the middle? You put it in the middle of the place? This is where up the spiral stairs, that's where you go for the extracurricular activities that the tavern offers. We're gonna go with these kinds of tables right here. We'll have the staircase over here. Probably not spiral, probably just have it go like steps. And we'll go with the long tables. That way, if we do long tables, that will allow us to put a lot of characters, a lot of people, but we only need to have like 3 tables. More or less, something like that. Is there a potential angle where you see a chandelier? We would have to move the camera up a little bit, so it could look like this. Like, hey, thanks for the follow. You could always where's my cap? You could do that thing where you actually use some of the roof, but in this case we'll talk about a chandelier. You can use a chandelier to like I don't know what a chandelier looks like. I'm gonna draw it's gonna look like a ceiling fan, so don't at me, bro. You could just like use this as like the foreground to section off the image. You know what I mean? Long tables, tavern, a pub is more intimate. Okay, I get you. Oh, you know, I never considered why. Okay. That's actually a good it's actually a good thought process there. I never considered that. Yeah, so you could always set up the camera in a way where like if you wanted to do that where you have something more in the foreground to kind of help you. It's like a cheating way to frame a shot, right? Like if you this is example, take that away. We're just going to talk about using things in the foreground to help frame things. So like let's say you're in let's say you have just the most boring give me pictures of Spider-Man. You have a like a 1 point, just a regular shot, right? Inside of like an office. Whatever, right? Chandeliers with candles. Yeah, we could do that. So another thing you can do to like, again, this could cheat. This could help you cheat filling in the frame without having to actually draw stuff. You could imagine the camera is kind of set like behind. There's like a fucking plant. or like a stack of books or something. And with enough practice, you could start using the like foreground framing to help focus attention on your shot. But I don't know if we'll do that. See, this is all fun, right? This is all good practice stuff. Hold on, my wife just woke up. She's not feeling well. My wife's not feeling well, and my puppy's not feeling well. So hold on, I gotta go. I'll go say hi to her real quick and see what's going on. We will continue to like we're gonna on this stream we're gonna break it down from like this is what's coming up when I come back. This whole stream we're going from the most basic things and the ideas that you guys gave me. So we're gonna kind of work together and we're gonna have eventually we'll have a page with the entire scene. Okay, so I'll come back and we will finish this. Okay. Everything cool? Everyone can hear me? I didn't forget to mute myself again. All right, so as we were talking about setting up a scene, framing, all that boring shit. Yeah, these are all just like the basic things to consider. I don't know who here watches my YouTube videos, my Artist Alley episodes, but I take the opportunity every chance that I can, because you know it's a lot of guerrilla filming because I do it while I'm at a convention, but I take the opportunity to get in a very well composed shot any chance that I get. I try a lot of weird things, they don't always work, but the point is I'm trying, you know. So especially like the later episodes, like the last 4 or 5, I do take a lot of animal and monster heads. Oh yeah, dead animals on the wall for sure. So if you know you're with your artwork, if you're getting into especially if you're making a comic, and I don't, you know, I respect everybody. I love animators because of the amount of work that they put in. I love watercolor artists. I have a huge respect for comic book artists, for those who are actually making their comic, because it's more than I've done. But real talk, some of y'all shots hella boring. A lot of these comic panels, I'm talking about like webtoon level, like independent stuff. Some of these shots are so fucking boring. I'm like, have you never watched the movie before? Because like you want the animal series you did back in the day with a 24-hour stream that got you through COVID. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, you know, the concept of was it every frame a painting or something like that? I can't remember how it goes. But anyway, the point is I have so many artist friends who have comics who will do like it's always like a 1 point perspective. Sometimes a lot of the times the perspective is inconsistent. The shot is not composed well, and even comics it's harder because now you need to compose where the speech bubbles are. You're not just composing like a shot. Now you have to take into account where you're going to put the speech bubbles, you know? Like that shit is tough. General rule of thirds stuff, yeah. So anyway, probably go with this right here. I think we'll avoid putting anything in the foreground just because yeah, just because like there's gonna be so much going on here. I don't really think we need to cover anything up. So we'll go with this one right here. We can do a Quentin Tarantino and have the aspect ratio like that. Is it exhausting to sketch out a comic page? Oh, it's exhausting to sketch out a comic page, let alone finish it. Speaking as someone who didn't even start inking. Well, so I mean, that's why I say, I mean, I'm not talking down to anyone because like I'm all for anyone who is creating anything. But my point is, I'm like you would think that composing the frame as somebody who's telling a story, because you're essentially drawing a movie, right? You're essentially drawing a movie. And it's like, how are some of these frames so boring? How is it that boring? You know? So is anyone here familiar with like architecture? I'm not very, so if somebody could explain to me why some facilities, like for example, they'll have like stone bottom and then wood top. I'm sure there's a structural reason. Does anyone know why? It's drawing an action cartoon. Well, you know, when you draw like if you're drawing like a fight scene or an action scene, I don't even need a background. Just put like speed lines. I'm talking about like if they're walking into a place, or like you're doing like an establishing shot, which I don't ever see establishing shots in my friends' comics either, which is crazy. A fire? Okay. I hate to say this, I think we might have to cut the stream short because I have to go pick up some medicine for my dog. That's how not well she's doing. And I was really hoping to get this done before because I was estimated that I was had to go get it around 1 and it's only 11 here. Fuck. Well, I mean, I care about my dog. I want to take care of my dog, but at the same time, I hate cutting shit short. Okay, well, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm gonna go take care of this. If we hop back on today to finish this, because I need to practice this too. This isn't just for you guys. This is actually for me, and you guys are just along for the ride. So this is something that I need to do. So if I hop back on, I'll let the Discord know. Okay. Thank you all. I'll let y'all know. Appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for all the follows today.